Okay, now we can move to the bushings. What I'm trying to do is just take the bolt off each end of this A-arm right here to get to the bushing that's inside that. And you're gonna need, this is a 15 millimeter wrench. Just trying to find another 15 millimeter wrench for the other side, because when you turn this side, the other side also turns. Okay, I got two 15 millimeter wrenches here. You got to hold one side to take off the other side. And this is vice versa, because when you take this off, the other side's gonna want to turn too. So we just gonna get this one kind of loose and see if we can put a bind on it or something, try to get this other side from turning. See, and then this other side is just pulling this other side off. So let's see if we can get it all the way off on one side and see what we can do about that. Okay, I got one side off. Just trying to see ways that I can get this bolter loose without. I think the only way I'm gonna do that is be able to put this bolt back in there and have it tight. But this side is still turning. Trying to tighten this side down pretty good before I can try to take the other side off. I believe it's working now. Okay, that did work, so we got the other side bolt off. Now let's get to a place where we can actually look at this. Okay, we got the A-arm up on the four-wheel here, so we're gonna see if we can pry this bearing out the end here. I don't have the wrench on. Okay, so that bearing basically slides out of there. And like I said, it's just plastic. It's got some cracks on the end. It's probably wore out pretty good. The new one, like I said, it's plastic. Just got a little rubber on the end of it here, I guess for cushion. Just want to look down in there, because I hate to say it, but I am going to go ahead and say it. I've never put grease in this Zerk to grease these bearings, so I know they're probably pretty bad. I want to get this shaft out the middle. In order to do that, I'm gonna have to get this bolt out of this side. And I don't know if that's going to be easy or not, because I know when I turn that, the other side is going to turn. So I'm going to try to get my pliers on this other side and see if I can hold it. That's not working. Well, yeah, just maybe we can push it out the other side. How simple that would be. Oh, it still's got a lot of grease in it, so that's a good thing. On one side, well, that's the middle. I'm just trying to find the old bearing. The other bearing went on like that, not just the middle that had the grease. So this other side of the shaft doesn't really have any grease, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on the other one. So maybe we can just slide it off this side. And I'm gonna try to clean up this shaft. I'm gonna go to my wire wheel on my grinder over there, just clean this shaft up and re-grease up under the bearings, and we'll reinstall her, and that should be it. Okay, I got that cleaned up the best I can without trying to remove any material on here. As you can see, it does have some pitting where it was no grease up under that bearing. In the middle, it wasn't too bad, but on the other side, it had the same pitting. So we're going to grease this shaft up real good, the whole shaft, and put the bearings back on, and we should be good with that. So I just got some grease here. I'm going to put it on there pretty thick, if I can hold it. Let's put the first bearing on first, because like I said, we're going to slide it all the way over top of the shaft. So if I put it on right here, it's just going to wipe the grease off on that side. So we're going to grab one of the new bearings. It's going to go right here, but we're going to slide it all the way on. And I'm going to put some more grease on there, because it needs to be greased up as much as possible. Then when I put it on, before I put the wheels on, I will hit it with my grease gun and grease the whole thing up. Like I said, just putting a lot of grease on it, much as I can handle on it. All over the shaft here. Hands off here, and I'm gonna put it back in the housing. And these new bearings just don't want to just slide down in there like the old one slid out, so gonna have to give them a couple love taps. Wanted to get it down, make sure it's flush. Get the other bearing for the other side, wipe some of the old grease off of it. It's caked on it. Put in the other side, and give it a couple little taps to get it down in there also. So we got both of those done. I could probably even hit it with my grease gun while it's not in there. Well, it's not installed, but I'll wait till I install it. That way I got something to hold it. And we can go put it back on. Okay, we're ready to put it back on. Remember, as we took it off, we had to put one bolt on one side and tighten it up to get the other one off. So we're going to do that same thing to put it back on. And I did put some blue Loctite on these bolts here. Get it started. As you can see, the other side is turning, so let me get my other wrench here. It's the damnedest thing I ever seen, that you have to put one bolt on to take another bolt off. But I'm not what you call an engineer, I guess. Now that we got one side tightened, we can loosen the other side. And we got that off. We're gonna put some blue Loctite on it. About out. Need some more. So now that we got the new bushing on, like I said, it's a little tighter, and we just had to force that down in there to get the bolt started. Yep, you know, always when you put something new on, it's always something new that goes on to put it back on. So, I found my screwdriver. It's being difficult, it won't line up. I wonder if anybody heard the old saying, start all before tighten any. And I got this other side, it's not super tight, but it's tight just to, before I could get the screw out of it. So it's making this side difficult to start this bolt. Because the hole is not lining up. Let me see if I can get this hole lined up. I'll come right back. Okay, I did get that bolt finally lined up. I had to get my little lineup tool here and stick it in there and pry it to actually get those bolts to line up, and try to hold it the best you can to get that screw started. I tried to loosen up the other side to see if I can move it, get it to move in position, but that design for those two bolts on the same shaft is just real crazy. So right now I just barely got it sitting in there, and I got it tightened up where it's a little resistance, but it moves freely. Cause you know, the more you ride it, the looser it's gonna get, and I don't want those bolts to be actually loose. So I got that tightened up pretty good. So I'm just gonna place that on the A-arm, the actual ball joint here. Give it a couple love taps. No, I don't want to love tap it yet. I got to put this boot on first to actually cover up that ball joint. Then I want to put the actual ball joint on and put the bolt on. If I can get it started. And we'll tighten that up much as we can tighten it up, and get the castle nut grooves to line up with the hole in the ball joint shaft, so we can put a collar pin in that. Then we can go do the other side.